Now, I have a confession to make. Even though I teach how to travel with just a carry-on and a personal size item, I have a hard time being a minimalist packer. And I'm sure a lot of you do too. But in this video, I'm going to show you a foolproof method of doing it and also comply with the strictest of airlines in both weight and size. So stay tuned. Now, I know for a lot of us, when we hear the words capsule wardrobe, our minds go blank. I mean, how do you put that together? How do you make it work? Can I have enough outfits? Will I need extra stuff? Well, I found a foolproof method. Now, it's based off of the 3x3 method or the Sudoku method, which you see over here, where you have 3 tops, 3 bottoms, and 3 layering pieces, and they all mix and match with each other. The only thing for me is, I don't know, it just didn't seem like enough. Then I learned about the 4x4 method, and you can see it in this chart over here. The 4x4 method allows you for 4 tops, 4 bottoms, 4 layering pieces, and 4 bonus items. Now, those bonus items can be anything from shoes to an additional handbag to a dress or some additional clothing. I mean, you get to pick what you want to have as those 4 additional items, but it gives you that extra wiggle room for the what if items. And we all know that we have a what if item in that bag. There are some additional pieces that are not included in that particular chart, and that is what you're wearing on the plane. And I would suggest that whatever you wear on the plane goes with everything else in your luggage. Also, what's not included in this is your emergency pack, which should also go along with everything that you've packed in your capsule wardrobe. So you actually have 2 more outfits there. You have the one that you're wearing on the plane and the one in your personal item bag that's your emergency outfit. So that is a ton of clothing. Also, what's not included in this pack is your bras, your underwear, your socks, your pajamas. Those are basics. Those are not included in this pack. And what I also like about this is it's great for visual learners like me, because I can lay out my clothing on the bed and see if everything mixes and matches. And then I know that I have put together the perfect capsule wardrobe, which has always been my problem. Now, there's a couple of things you should do before you even start to go into your closet and figure out what you want. The first thing you need to do is check your airline's limitations for both weight and size for both carry-on and personal size items, because these days there are huge upcharges if you are not complying with both size and weight. The next thing you have to do is check the weather. Now, checking the weather is really important because you don't want to think that it's one temperature and then a couple of days before your trip you find out it's a totally different temperature and you didn't know about it, and now you have all the wrong clothing. The third thing that you need to do is really think about the activities you're going to be doing on your trip. Is it going to be hiking on this trip? Are you planning to go to the theater? Are you planning to go out to dinner? Is there a party on the trip? These are the things you have to consider when you're picking the pieces that you're going to put into your wardrobe, because there's nothing worse than coming home with a pile of clothing that you never wore. The fourth thing that you want to take into consideration is, how do you feel in this clothing? And that means whatever you're pulling from your closet, you should be trying on and looking at yourself. And you should also be figuring into the equation, if you're planning on eating and drinking, putting on a few extra LBSs, because it can happen and it does happen. And if you pick clothing that maybe is a little snug on you normally, and then you put on a couple of pounds, then you don't like that clothing very much. So it limits you on your trip. So always pick clothing that you like and pick clothing that's comfortable. So let's go over what my pack is, and I'll show you how easily it went together. So these are the pieces that I chose for my capsule wardrobe before I lay them out on the bed, because as I told you, I am a visual learner. So I like to see everything put out in front of me to make sure that it really all works together. But these are the pieces that I chose. As my tops, I have a burgundy top, a green top, a short sleeve black t-shirt, and a cream shirt. For my layering pieces, I have this sweater, I have jackety kind of topper, I have a button-down dress shirt which I can wear with or without layers, and since check is really in this year, I have this check kind of smock top. Now for my pants, I chose a pair of ribbed leggings, a pair of black leggings, a pair of black pants because you can dress them up, and my jeans. For my additional items, the bonus items that we talked about, I have a jumpsuit, some scarves and a cami, a handbag, and one of these two pairs of shoes, depending on how my bag weighs out. Because in this demonstration, I'm going with SAS, and they only allow 8 kilograms. So we'll see how that works. And that's my capsule wardrobe. Now there are 2 additional bonus items that are included in this pack. One you're actually wearing on your body, and that's what I'm wearing on the plane. So I picked this to go with everything else here so I can make sure that it mixes and matches. And this has a very nice jacket. It has a long sleeve shirt, a short sleeve shirt, and another pair of leggings. So I can combine this with many of the other pieces that I have here and gain some more clothing. Now the other bonus item is this, my emergency bag. And for those of you who have never seen my channel before, the emergency bag is what you put into your personal item to make sure that in case your bag gets gate checked and then the airline loses your bag, that you have at least 1 day's worth of clothing in here. And here is an extra pair of leggings, an extra shirt, an extra sweater, 2 pairs of underwear, and 2 pairs of socks. And it's all inside this perfect little bag by Gonex, which is the perfect size for a smaller personal item bag. And I just love the fact that I can get so much into this bag. Now let's see it on the bed and see if it all works. So this is everything I've picked, put out on the grid that I showed you before, and I'm making sure that each one of these items works well together as a capsule wardrobe. And the optional items that I took are a bag, a jumpsuit, some scarves and a camisole, and the boots. Now the boots I'm going to have to wait on because I have to make sure that I'm making compliance for weight. Now SAS allows 8 kilograms, which is slightly more than 17 pounds. And if I pack out my bag, I will exchange these shoes for the other pair of shoes. And now let's see it on me and see if it all works. Well, now I'm going to show you a pro tip. Before I get to packing all the clothing that I chose, I weigh it, because you want to make sure before you put it into your bag and then weigh it and then have to pull everything out again that you're making compliance. Now in this fictional demonstration, I'm taking SAS, and that's because they have a very, very strict allowance. It's 17 pounds. Now I know that this bag fits their compliance for size, and it weighs 6.5 pounds. And then I put everything into a bag and I weigh it. And this bag comes out to 10.4 pounds, which is a little close for my liking. And I know probably the heaviest items in there are my handbags and my shoes. And I still have not put into this equation my underwear, my socks, and my pajamas, which really don't take up much weight, but you have to figure it out. So if that's 10.5 and this is 6.5, I'm at that 17-point breaking point. So now I'm weighing my shoes and my handbag before I put my clothing in there, and I am saving myself slightly over 2 pounds. So just as I predicted, it was my shoes and the handbag that weighed the most. Now the rest of my clothing would meet the regulation for SAS. Now my other option is to take a bag that's not as heavy. That's pretty small a bag, but if you took a backpack, you would save yourself a lot of weight. So like if I took my TomTok backpack, I could save myself a whole lot of weight. That's another option. So now that we've figured out what we're taking, we think we make compliance, we're going to pack the bag. So as with everything else in real life, after fiddling around a little bit, I decided to put my 7 days worth of underwear, socks, and bras in the smallest of the compression cubes. In the small middle size, I have my 4 shirts, rolled, my jumpsuit, which I'm going to put in there, flat packed, and my pajamas, because that'll fit in there nice and easy. And I'll zip that one up and done. And in the larger middle size, I am putting in the layering pieces. So I've already started. And if you notice, I pack to the size of the cube. So here's one of the sweaters, the blouse that I can wear as a topper. Here's my checked topper. And finally, the bulkiest item, and you'll see each and every one is packed to the size of the cube, is the nice fancy topper. And now I'm going to zipper it up. And there it is. Now, I have to tell you, I could probably compress this if I wanted to, but I really don't care because I don't have that much stuff. And that's the beauty of this. So now I'm going to start packing the bag. On this side of the bag that has the webbing, I'm going to put the biggest of the packing cubes, the second biggest, my underwear, socks, and bra. And I can get that in there. And there's even room for a little extra stuff if I wanted to, but I don't want to. Everything just zips up fine. And if you're wondering what bag this is the Quince bag, the smallest of the Quince rolling bags, and I just love this bag. Now, I do not roll my pants. I have different methods that work for different things, and sometimes I roll things like my shirts, sometimes I flat pack things like my sweaters that makes no sense to roll them, and I flat pack my jeans and pants. So those are going to go on this side of the bag. So I'm going to put the 4 pairs of pants on this side of the bag. As I said before, leggings, jeans, the kind of ribbed leggings, and the blue jeans. And I'm going to stick them right here. No problem. And I'm going to stick my scarves and the other camisole that I have here on the other side of the bag. Now, this may change, and I might be able to get my boots in here, but I'm going to take my weight first. So we're going to seal up the bag and see how much it weighs. Okay, and I'm weighing this bag, and it comes in as 7.95 kilograms, and that's just too close to 8 kilograms, which is what SAS allows. So I will not be putting my shoes into this bag. So this bag obviously would hold more, and if I was taking an American or other European airlines that are not so strict, I could pack the shoes into this bag. But because I am trying to show you that you can pack a ton of clothing and get away with just traveling in a smaller bag with stringent weight restrictions, like on Asian and European airlines, this is what all I'm putting into this bag. Now, I bet you're wondering how I'm going to pack my personal item bag, but for that, you're going to have to stay tuned. In the meantime, watch this video here to see what I normally pack in a personal item.